Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So excited you're here because we're working on my June TBR. Feels a little weird saying that, can't believe we're already going into June. Anyways, yeah, this one's gonna be a little random. I'm doing a lot of mood reading lately, and I'm gonna be doing the same thing going into June because that's just how I'm feeling lately. I'm gonna be bringing my board game back in July, but yeah, for June, I just feel like mood reading. I just feel like kind of going wherever my mood takes me, just pulling things off my shelves. So we're gonna be shelving my shelves this month. I just thought that just sounded fun. It's been a little while since I've done that. Actually, I think it's probably been about a year since I've done that, just shelf my shelves for books. So I thought it was about time. Also, I'm really sorry for the lighting. I have not got the lighting figured out in here. The windows are in a weird spot, and yeah, we'll figure it out. But for now, we're just working with what we have, which is kind of the theme for this channel, is just working with what we have. We'll get it, it's fine. I hope you like the new setup, the background, aside from the shelves. I haven't gotten the decor right or anything like that. Like I told you, you'll be coming along with me when I go thrifting for the decor and getting everything right. But for now, this is what we got. If you hear noise, it's because Eddie is plundering. I may show little clips of him because he's just too cute. I know you like to see him. But anyways, let's go shopping my shelves. Okay. Sorry for the super weird angle. But I'm gonna start with this shelf here because I know there are some books here that I may want to read. I'm just gonna pull some and then narrow it down later. And the two that are possibilities are this one here, On Earth as It Is on Television by Emily Jane. Eddie. This is a possibility, as well as Grotesque by Natsuo Kirino. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these two as my possibilities on this shelf. I think that's it on this one. Yeah. Now, I know this isn't super helpful because you can't see titles. This is just, you only see the edges. And I do this because I think the edges are so pretty. I know what they are. So, I think I want to pull this one here. I bought this one a couple months ago and I've been wanting to read it. I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200 by Robert Brockway. I think I'm going to pull this one as a possibility. I think that's it from this one. There are others that I'm going to be pulling later, but they're like different seasons. You know, I'm a seasonal reader, so I know there's some that are more wintry, more fall, and there's some that I'm just not in the mood for right now. So that's it for now on this shelf. This shelf here, I've read most of the Grady Hendrix books except for this one, but I'm not feeling it right now, which I know is a really wild thing to say about Grady Hendrix. What I'm looking at is here. And I've been really feeling Michael Harbron lately. And I have not read the last book of the Interview with the Devil series, and I really need to finish that series. Obsessed with this series, and I'm obsessed with all things Michael Harbron, actually. So then I'm going to read this. So really, this is like the series, and then I think then there's the anthology, and then I guess he came back and decided to add more to the series later. So I say it's the last one of the series, but I guess there are a couple more after this. But technically the first part of the series, this would have been the end, and then he added more to the series later. So anyways, the first official part of the series, this is the end of it. And then he added more. So I'm gonna add this to the list. And then recently he had sent me Metanoia. So I'm going to add this to my stack. And that's it for this little section. I've already read all these Christopher Triana. All right, you can't see me because this is a high part of the bookshelf, but I've been really meaning to read this book here. Sorry the camera is shaking so much, just because I'm having to hold it up. But I've been really wanting to read Pink Neon by Megan Stockton. It's been on my shelf for a couple months. I bought it a couple months ago at least. So I'm gonna add this one to the stack. Alrighty, looking at arcs now. There are a few arcs that I've received recently that I've been wanting to get to, and I'm really excited to get to. Sorry again, the camera's shaking. I'm holding the phone up. These are high shelves. The Lamb was sent to me recently. This one's actually been out, so it's not technically an arc anymore. I mean, I guess it is an arc, but this one's actually out already. But this one was sent to me recently. So The Lamb by Lucy Rose. I'll add this one to my stack. Sorry, the camera's shaking so much. And then I need to read Aftertaste by Daria Lavelle. It's another one that I need to get to. All right, I am at my romance and also contemporary and literary fiction shelf, and I'm gonna see if there's anything here that catches my attention. Starting with the top shelf here, a lot of these I've already read, and some of them I have not. This one here is catching my attention. Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. I'm gonna add this one to my stack. Again, these aren't all, we'll narrow this all down here in a second, but I'm gonna add this one to my stack. Let's go down to shelf 2. Let's see here. I read this one years ago. This 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I loved it. And that's coming from someone that doesn't typically read romance, but I personally loved it. Let's see. Nothing here is like really catching my attention, so let's go to shelf 3. Okay, so a couple are catching my attention. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've heard really great things about this one. I'm gonna add it to my stack. We'll narrow this down in a minute. And Sugar Baby by Celine Saintclaire. This cover I'm obsessed with. It's so kind of creepy almost. I don't know, there's something so eerie about it. I don't know if this is even supposed to be a creepy book, but there's something really eerie about this cover. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. Eddie, what are you doing? So those are the ones that I'm drawn to on this shelf. And after this, it gets random and weird. So I'm just gonna stick to those 3, and then we'll go upstairs to the fantasy shelves. I still have totes everywhere. Look at this guy. He is climbing on everything. Eddie Lee, what are you doing? What are you doing? You look guilty. You look like you're up to something you're not supposed to be up to. Eddie. Silly boy. Silly boy. Hi. Look how pretty he is. He's gotten so big. He is no longer a kitten. He is a big boy. See my ladder in the background because I was climbing on stuff earlier, but yeah. So I'm upstairs. This is the fantasy shelf. This is actually one of my favorite shelves because I just think it's so fun and colorful. And I'm just gonna see if anything catches my attention up here. For sure, I'm gonna add this one here to my stack. I don't even know if I showed y'all this one whenever I got it. These two, actually, I don't know if I showed y'all these. But this one here is Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. And we'll add this one to the stack. And I'll show y'all better when we get downstairs. But I just think this one needs to be added to the stack. I don't want to add too much fantasy. I do want some. This one is more, it's not, I don't know if this is fantasy so much as it's just like cozy romance. The Magnolia Sisters by Alice Murray. I'll add this one to the stack too. We'll look at the next shelf. This is shelf 2. Already read some of these. Nothing. I don't think there's any of these going to capture my attention right now. I will go to the 3rd shelf. I actually read this one here in May, so you'll be hearing about it. Nope, none of these are capturing my attention either right now. Also, I'm obsessed with these. These are hilarious if you ever have a chance to read them. An absolutely remarkable thing and a beautifully foolish endeavor. They're great if you're into sci-fi, even if you're not. Like, I didn't know I was into sci-fi until I read them, and they were great. They were hilarious. Let's see. Don't know that I'm in the mood for these either. This is one of my favorite fantasies. It's called Magic Kingdom for Sale, sold by Terry Brooks. Love it so much. It's just an adventure. It's a lot of fun. It's actually my first fantasy I ever read. Okay, and then there's one more shelf, but I'll show it to you, but I don't think I'm in the mood for it either. This is the final shelf, and I don't think I'm in the mood for it either. Just not capturing my attention. So we'll go back downstairs and I'll show you the stack, and we'll narrow it down to the ones that I'm for sure gonna read. What are you doing, Eddie? Eddie, what you doing? I'm back. I made the trek all the way downstairs, and I have stacks of books here. We gotta narrow it down to the ones that I for sure plan on reading, because this is a lot. Yeah, let's get into what they're about and all that jazz. Okay, the first one is Aftertaste by Daria Lavelle, and this one was sent to me by the publisher. And of course, this is an ARC, so this is a preview edition. It says, to New York City's most unforgettable culinary experience, you bring the memories, we'll bring the ghosts, literally. This one's taken me an embarrassingly long time to get to. I'm going to read you the synopsis. Konstantin Kostya Duhovny is a haunted man. When he was a child, his beloved father died shortly after their family immigrated to Brooklyn from Ukraine, and ghosts have been hovering around Kostya ever since. Kostya can't exactly see the ghosts, but he can taste their favorite foods. Flavors of meals he's never eaten will flood his mouth, a sign that a spirit is present. Kostya has kept these aftertastes a secret for most of his life, but one night he decides to act on what he's tasting, and everything changes. Kostya discovers that he can reunite people with their deceased loved ones by cooking their food. He realizes that perhaps his life's purpose is offering closure to grieving strangers, and that he might be able to find closure himself. Kostya sets out to learn everything he can by entering a particularly fiery ring of hell, the New York culinary scene. As his kitchen skills begin to catch up with his ambitions, Kostya is too blind to see the catastrophe that looms, and the one person who knows Kostya must be stopped happens to be falling in love with him. Set in the bustling world of New York restaurants and teeming with mouth-watering food writing, Aftertaste is a whirlwind romance, a heart-wrenching look at love and loss, and a ghost story about all the ways we hunger and how far we'd go to find satisfaction. So, sounds really amazing. I love a good, it's like grief horror, but it's also a love story as well. And then anything involving food, I usually enjoy too. So it sounds really good. It's a nice chunky book. The Lamb, I think everybody knows what this is about at this point because I feel like everybody's read it. This is a mother and daughter who live in the forest in a cottage, and what a great setting, by the way. And they typically like wait for strangers to come to them, and then they sort of feed on them. And then one day this girl, Eden, wanders up, and the daughter is like, hey, maybe let's not eat this one. I kind of like this one. So yeah, from what I understand, that's what this is about, based on what's on the back. So yeah, this sounds really good. And from what I hear, this is excellent. I've heard really great reviews about this, and I can't wait to get into it. It says, with this gothic coming-of-age tale, debut novelist Lucy Rose explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts, and wrings the relationship between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. Sounds great. This one was sent to me by the publisher. We have Pink Neon by Megan Stockton. This one follows Tansy, who is a sex worker. One day she forms a bond with one of her female clients who happens to be a serial killer. She doesn't quite believe her client at first. She really thinks that her client is like full of crap. Like, no way she's a serial killer. This is just like fantasy. Like she can't really be a serial killer, right? But turns out she really is. You know, Tansy kind of indulges in the woman's fantasies, and this leads to a wild, gruesome, deadly chain of events. It says, what begins as a harmless conversation quickly spirals into a relentless bloodbath. With no one to trust and no way to stop the carnage, Tansy must navigate this dangerous world of power, violence, and her own demons before it's too late. You've heard me talk about the Interview with the Devil series by Michael Harbron. You know how obsessed I am with this series. I gave a couple of the last books 5 stars, and then this is supposed to be book 3 in the series, but and then the witch could be read as a standalone, I believe. But he suggested that I read The Witch in between books 2 and 3. So this is technically book 3, but then I read The Witch in between. So I guess this would be book 4. Anyhow, I'm not going to tell you what this technically is about because I don't want to give away spoilers since this is part of a series. But yeah. I will link the video down below where I talked about book 1 in the series. You can see my review on it so that I'm not like beating a dead horse if you've already heard me gush about this series so many times, because just I'm obsessed with it. It's so freaking good. It is so good. I love this series so much. But yeah, just long story short, book 1, he ends up interviewing the devil. And the devil is very fascinating. It's just a very interesting series, and I was just so into it from the very beginning, couldn't put it down. And I've had many people buy the whole series just based on my review of the first one because I was so obsessed with it, and I can't get enough of it. So I'm really excited to finally pick it up. I've dragged this series out on purpose because I know I'm going to be really bummed when it ends. So I'm going to be really sad whenever it's over. But I'm going to be picking this up. And then he sent me, this isn't part of the series, this is a whole other book, Metanoia, also by Michael Harbron. This one follows 2 kids who wake up in an abandoned town and nothing feels right. Like the streets are drowned in fog and the lights are still on, but all the buildings are empty and just nothing feels right. They know that something's not right about this town. Like, all they have are like just a few rolls to survive, and that's it. And then like they know that there should be a memory there, like they know that there's like a memory there, but they can't quite put their finger on what the memory is involving these buildings and this place. And there's this strange man watching them from across the street, which is creepy as hell to me. This man seems to know why they're there. It says, as they search for a way out, the truth finally finds them, and it doesn't want them to leave. Yeah. Anything involving kids is terrifying to me, because either the kids are creepy as hell, or the kids aren't creepy, and you're just terrified for them the whole time. But either way, anything involving kids scares me. You probably hear Eddie. He's getting into everything, and he's making the craziest noises, so I don't know what he's doing. Okay, and then I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200 by Robert Brockway. You probably remember when I bought this one a while back. It's got edges, like the stenciled edges and all that. It looks like a lot of fun. And it sounds like a lot of fun too. It says, to bright and anxious 8-year-old Kay Washington, the worst thing in the world is being alone with the quiet. That's why Eddie Video makes the perfect imaginary friend. He's smart, he's loud, he loves pulling pranks, and he's always there to chase away the silence. To mid-40s, down on his luck, Ivan, the worst thing in the world happened when he lost his imaginary friend. Now cursed with the ability to see everyone else's, Ivan makes a living by killing the imaginary friends of adults who couldn't let go. But when one of Eddie Video's pranks goes too far, Ivan agrees to make an exception and help Kay. Only Ivan will soon learn that Eddie Video is nothing like the talking ostriches, star bears, and goblin princesses he's encountered in the past, and it's going to take a lot more than clumsy haymakers and steak knives to bring him down. A balance of comedy and catharsis, this dual narrative tackles both the fear of growing up and the scars our childhood leaves behind. It sounds so fun. I don't know, it sounds like a blast. We have Grotesque by Natsuo Kirino. There's something really eerie about this cover. I don't know. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna read you the synopsis. I was gonna try to like explain to you without reading the synopsis, but this one is like, I don't think I can. It says, life at the prestigious Q High School for young women in Tokyo exists on a precise social axis. A world of insiders and outsiders, of haves and have-nots. Beautiful Yuriko and her unpopular, unnamed sister exist in different spheres. The hopelessly awkward Kazui Sato floats around among them, trying to fit in. Years later, Yuriko and Kazui are dead. Both have become prostitutes and both have been brutally murdered. I don't know why, I just think this sounds really good. I haven't heard really anybody talk about this one, but it just sounds great. We have On Earth as It Is on Television by Emily Jane. I won't read you the whole synopsis of this, but basically aliens have made their appearance. UFOs and aliens have made their appearance on Earth, and it's got people questioning everything. Everybody is kind of losing it. So it sounds kind of comedic. Actually, it sounds really comedic, but yeah, it's got people losing their marbles. That's the best way I can explain it. These are more like non-horror. I don't think this one's horror either. This one's more like sci-fi, by the way. The last ones are not horror either. These are more like contemporary and then fantasy. So we have Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've been trying to mix up not just horror, but mix up everything because so that I don't get burnt out. This one I've heard great things about. I've heard good and bad, but I've heard more good than bad. As children, Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy were students at Hailsham, an exclusive boarding school secluded in the English countryside. It was a place of mercurial cliques and mysterious rules, and teachers were constantly reminding their charges of how special they were. Now, years later, Kathy is a young woman. Ruth and Tommy have re-entered her life, and for the first time, she is beginning to look back at their shared past and understand just what it is that makes them so special, and how that gift will shape the rest of their time together. Suspenseful, moving, beautifully atmospheric, Never Let Me Go is another classic by the author of The Remains of the Day. I have heard really great things about this one. We have Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. This cover looks so fun. This one follows this 38-year-old woman. She's single, she works in an office, she lives alone. One night she's at a bar and she runs into one of her high school teachers who is 30 years older than her. He's also a widower, and they end up developing a relationship together. It says, Strange Weather in Tokyo is a moving, funny, and immersive tale of modern Japan and old-fashioned romance. Interesting. We have Sugar Baby by Celine Saintclaire. Obsessed with this cover. I don't know what it is about this cover. I love it so much. I love it so much. How did I end up with so many novels this time about sex work? I don't know how that happened. That was unintentional. I don't know. It says Sugar Baby follows Agnes, a mixed-race 21-year-old whose life seems to be heading nowhere. Still living at home, she works as a cleaner and spends all her money in clubs on the weekends searching for distractions from her mundane life. That is, until she meets Emily, daughter of one of her cleaning clients who lives in London and works as a model, and a sugar baby dating rich older men for money. Emily's life is the escape Agnes has been longing for: extravagant tasting menus, champagne on tap, glamorous hotels with unlimited room service, designer gifts from dates who call her beautiful. But this new lifestyle is the last straw for her religious mother, Constance. Kicked out of her family home, Agnes moves in with Emily and the other sugar babies in their fancy London flat and is drawn deeper and deeper into their world. But these women come from money. They possess a safety net Agnes does not. And as she is thrown from one precarious relationship to the next, a married man who wants to show off the glamorous exotic girl on his arm, a Russian billionaire's wife who makes Agnes the main attraction at a private sex party in Miami, she finds herself searching for fulfillment just as desperately as she was before. A compelling journey of self-discovery that offers sharp commentary on race, beauty, and class, Sugar Baby is an electric, original spellbinding novel that will keep readers turning the pages until the very end. That sounds incredible. Okay, and then we have The Magnolia Sisters by Alice Murray. This one is like a cozy romance situation. So Harper is like running the family's flower farm, and then this tech mogul comes, and then he wants to use the farm as his sister's wedding venue. And Harper's like, no, you don't understand. This is going to really mess up next season's crop if you do this. Like, this isn't going to work for us. Like, this is a bad idea. And then Luke, the tech mogul, is like, look, I'll work on the farm for free if you give me a chance to change your mind. So Harper's like, fine, whatever, I'll let you do this. So they're both working alongside each other, expecting the other one to crack first. But, of course, they end up having chemistry and they end up liking each other. You know how it goes, like a Hallmark movie. It says, but just as Harper is starting to let her guard down, Luke stumbles upon a secret that could spell disaster for the entire Anderson clan. With her family's happiness at stake, can Harper put her trust in a man who is worlds apart from everything she knows? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, last one. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to narrow it down to. I don't think I showed you this one. So I have a new cozy fantasy book box. Okay, I've gotten 2 so far. Sorry for the glare, the light from the sun is crazy. But you can kind of see it. Look, it's got gold foiling. It's so cute. This one is Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I'm going to show you the whole tour of the book and I'll tell you what it's about, okay? But look how freaking cute this is. Okay, so I get this, it's quarterly. This is a quarterly book box. And, okay, the edges. Look, it's got cats, it's got donuts, cupcakes, lanterns. Like, this thing is adorable. It's so freaking adorable. Like, look at these cats. Okay, I'm going to take the dust jacket off so I can show you the whole thing. And I'll tell you what it's about. I know, like, the dust jacket is reversible, so you can have this side, but I like the other side better. Okay, so that's the reverse side. Now, this is the naked book. The book's naked. Okay, so this is it. Look how cute. Okay, and it also has gold foiling. Like, the gold foiling on these is like next level, because even this has gold foiling. Look at this thing. I'm obsessed. The cozy fantasy box is next level. It's just so freaking cute. Both books so far have been adorable. Like, look at the fire. Like, it's got the gold foiling on the fire, and it just makes it look like it's really sparkling, you know? It's so freaking adorable. So adorable. I'm obsessed. And this is by Fairy Loot. For those of you interested, this isn't sponsored. I don't get anything, okay, by telling y'all this. I don't get anything. I'm just telling y'all about it because I like it so much. But it's adorable, okay? It's so cute. This is one of my favorite boxes right now because I think the books are absolutely stunning. It's so cute, and I needed some more cozy in my life. I have been craving cozy lately so bad. in every aspect of my life, I have just been craving cozy. I think it's because everything else is complete chaos right now, with the world, with my life, with everything, and I just need cozy. And this cozy book box, I wish it was every month instead of quarterly because I'm absolutely obsessed. But okay, so cute. I'll tell you what it's about now that I've just gone on and on. It says, all strays are welcome here. From Sunday Times and New York Times bestselling author Heather Fawcett comes a healing and heartwarming fantasy with magic shops, rescued cats, and a second chance of love. Agnes Aubert is very fond of making lists. These lists kept her afloat when she lost her husband 2 years ago. And now, as the founder of a cat rescue charity, her meticulous organizational skills feel like the only thing standing between her beloved cats, His Majesty, Banshee, and sweet elderly Thorough, to name a few, and utter disaster. Aww. But when Agnes is forced to move the charity, she soon discovers that her new shop is being used as a front. Right under her feet is the lair of the decidedly disorganized, not to mention self-absorbed and infuriatingly handsome, Havelock Renard. Havelock is everything Agnes doesn't want in her life: chaos, mischief, and a little too much adventure. But as she gets to know him, she discovers he's more than the dark magician of legend, and that she may be ready for a little intrigue, perhaps even romance. After all, second chances aren't just for rescue cats. Oh, does that not sound incredible? Okay, let's narrow this down because if I can read all these in the month, I will. I'll do my best. I have been reading a lot more lately. I've been making more time for it. If possible, I'll read all these. I'll put them all in the stack. But let's narrow it down to a reasonable number, just in case I can't get to all of them. Okay? This is going on the list. I'm obsessed. This is going on the list, 100%. Okay? That's one. Also, the Michael Harbron books are going on the list because I've been craving Michael Harbron books. Okay? Those are going on the list. Also, Pink Neon, Grotesque, and Sugar Baby. Because there's a theme, and I like a good theme, okay? Sex workers. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6, okay? And let's go with The Lamb. It's good. And Strange Weather in Tokyo. That's a good one. That's 8. I'll tell you what, let's stick to 8. I feel like I can read more than 8 because I've been reading more than 8, but you never know, things might come up and I may have a weird month. Things have been weird. And then if I can read more, I'm going to keep these other ones in my pile of possibilities and I'll pull from them if I can. Okay? How does that sound? Okay, so my little, I'll show you my little stack. A little stack of 8. How does that sound? Sound good? Out of the ones that I didn't pull, which were these, Aftertaste, I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200, The Magnolia Sisters, Never Let Me Go, and On Earth as It Is on Television. Are there any of these that you would like me to read also, if I can? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to see me read any of these, I will pull from them first, okay? If there's any that you really want me to read. I have been reading more than 8. I have been doing really well. So, if there's any you want me to read also out of this stack, let me know. I'll prioritize them for you. Okay? Next week, you'll get my reading wrap up for May. I read a lot of really good books. I'm excited to tell you about them. I've been doing better. Life is kind of leveling out a little. You can't tell by the look on my house. I know. If you saw clips of Eddie Lee, my house is still pretty chaotic. There are still boxes everywhere. It's hard when you're working. I've found out working full-time and keeping up with YouTube and keeping up with kids and their appointments, it's a struggle to unpack. It's not near as easy. I'm on the struggle bus, but it's okay. I will see you next week for my May reading wrap up. Bye for now.